You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
Am I more exposed or more protected right now, and what should I do about it?
Well, that is definitely the big question.
It's Monday, June 15. Let's talk about a trend affecting young professionals in Korea.
Right, so to set our mission today, we are looking at what happens when early career workers get caught in the middle of some intense economic headwinds.
Yeah.
For context, Korea's labor market dropped 40,000 jobs in May.
Wow, 40,000 jobs.
Yeah, that's a lot. But instead of just looking at the layoffs, we really need to examine three converging pressures that directly impact your job security right now.
And the first pattern we are seeing is all about the financial safety net, or, well, rather the lack of it. Let's talk about the employment insurance reserve ratio.
Right.
By law, that reserve ratio for jobless benefits is supposed to sit against a 1.5 to 2 times legal minimum.
Yeah, which basically means the fund is legally designed to hold enough cash on hand to pay out unemployment benefits for like 1.5 to 2 straight years. But today, that ratio is sitting at just 0.1.
Which is just staggering. I mean, to put real money on that, the fund recently paid out 20.9 trillion won, which is roughly 15 billion USD, but the actual reserves sit at just 79.6 billion won. That is less than 60 million USD.
So the system is essentially running on fumes.
Yeah, exactly.
And if massive restructuring hits, your safety net is spread incredibly thin. So if companies need to reduce headcount, but the unemployment fund is tapped out, how do they get people to leave?
Well, that brings us right to our second pattern. The Ministry of Employment and Labor processes workplace harassment complaints, and we are seeing a massive volume, with 16,373 cases filed in 2025.
Which is a huge spike. But here's the kicker. 30% of those cases close with a finding of no legal violation.
Wait, 30%? We have to ask why that is. Like, why are a third of these claims falling flat?
Because as companies feel the squeeze, they aren't just doing clean layoffs, they are aggressively tightening targets and managing people out.
Right, managing people out.
Exactly. What genuinely feels like a hostile environment or harassment to you, the employee, is often classified as legally protected performance management by the employer.
So the pressure just gets rebranded.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Which forces a pivot to our third pattern, performance improvement programs, or PIPs.
Ah, PIPs.
Because these PIPs are being used so aggressively to manage people out, they are ending up in court. But Seoul court rulings on PIPs are starting to strike down dismissals based on inconsistently applied targets.
Like we saw in the recent Alibaba Korea case.
Exactly. The courts are setting strict legal standards right now, demanding that if a company uses a PIP to fire you, the metrics have to be completely objective, fair, and consistently applied.
Okay, let's unpack this. It feels like we are driving a car where the airbags are failing, given that 0.1x reserve ratio, but the traffic laws protecting us are getting stricter with these PIP rulings.
That is a very accurate analogy.
But, I mean, with the Peterson Institute projecting U.S. underemployment hitting 14% by 2030 due to AI, which is a structural signal for Korea's white-collar market, aren't these legal protections just a Band-Aid on a massive AI disruption?
What's fascinating here is the underlying mechanism. The collision of AI restructuring and a depleted safety net forces companies to rely on PIPs to push workers out.
Making court scrutiny the ultimate battleground for your early career survival.
Yes. It is no longer just about doing a good job. It is about whether your employer can legally prove you didn't.
Does this make my current position more or less secure, and what should I do right now? The safety net is weaker, with the jobless reserve ratio sitting at just 0.1 times annual payout, meaning you are financially exposed if restructuring hits. However, tighter court rulings offer greater legal protection against unfair dismissals, so you must immediately start meticulously documenting your performance goals, feedback, and any mid-cycle metric changes.
This raises an important question for you to consider today, perhaps while scrolling through the hashtag #CohesiveBI feeds. Given the impending AI squeeze on early career roles, if your safety net is shrinking while employer scrutiny rises, is your next career move about climbing the ladder or simply building a better parachute?
That's today's AI Prism Early Career. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a One IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.